Tubi TV, and they got YouTube, you got movies. I'm gonna watch with you.
Yeah, I got to go in there.
There's some movies. That's so cute.
It's very cute.
I mean, just beyond, and then you can try to add. So if you live close by,
I'm mostly.
Hey, how are you doing?
we don't want to live.
Okay, we're almost ready to get started, and so I'm also saying this for the people on Facebook Live because you guys are just now seeing us for the first time, and you were supposed to be getting to see us since 4:30, but we've been having some technical difficulties, but we're getting it back in the road right now, so we'll be right back.
Both times.
I've been saying this for a year, beginning when she come back to myself, but it's literally integrated in his black hole. During it just did that. I did nothing I did dumb, absolutely. So, how about you? How are you doing?
Oh, man.
I just got told to smile. They don't know how hard it is to concentrate and play the fiddle at the same time. I make faces, and you can't sing and smile either. It's really difficult. Hi, guys. How are you doing?
Not a smile, Brent. That was it, Brent.
Who all are we calling up here? Mel?
Well, really, I would say that.
Fundraiser.
Yeah, let's do Judy, Rodney, Hillary, Ian.
Hello out there. If you're in the internet world and you've managed to find this stream, which is different than the one we intended to share, please do share this one. If you're watching it, share this link wildly with everyone that you can.
What song? My song.
How do I share this to this page? I'm trying to figure out. You want to come sing it? Okay. Where's Rodney?
Yeah, Rodney.
Hey, Rodney. Come on up here.
Get Rodney. You sing in this one, or let's do it
Sorry, I'm sending this live on the Right. You don't want to sing? Oh, Melanie, Rodney said he's not singing.
You don't want to sing? Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's all right.
Well, thank you. I do want to.
Yeah, no worries.
My step to and thanks. I feel like I need to get out of here.
Yeah,
I gotta go sit up.
Or, okay. Never mind. All right. So Branson, Hillary. Troy, you want to sing one?
He brought his band.
We're gonna do musical breaks, and we're gonna break that down. So like we'll do 5 songs, music, 5 songs, music, 5 songs, music, story.
You sing first. I'll do the story.
Okay. Just ask Troy if he's gonna sing.
Troy, you want to sing in the first set?
Okay, so we got 4 now. Who else do we need from you? Pick the next person there.
I said they got my dog home.
Us 4. We need one more.
If I can get that, maybe I can get through that.
I remember the first time I sang there out there, we went out there and
Yeah, yeah.
Are you gonna come up here and talk to me first
I do a long lead in.
I'll sit wherever. And I'm not gonna sing, so you can sit there.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about things and stuff. You don't have to tell a story right now. Okay. Y'all, we're figuring it out. I swear we do better than this usually.
We really don't. This is as good as it gets.
I disagree. But we don't normally have a lot of moving parts with our shows and stuff. Like normally it's ballad singing and that's it, and some stories here and there. But
And a whole lot of granking.
a whole lot of cranking and storytelling. But tonight we got some music going on, and we have a live stream happening, which has never happened before. And we're going to tell some, read some stories to y'all out of Sheila's book. But so anyway, for those of y'all who don't know, I'm Donna Ray Norton, and this is my cousin, Melanie Rice. We are so glad that you guys came out to help support Sheila tonight. She's been going through a lot of really serious health stuff. So it's been really scary for all of us. And, we just wanted to do something special for her to try to help make her feel comfortable, during these next few months, because she's going to really need to take some time off and focus on resting and getting herself well enough to.
And I don't know how many of you guys actually know Mother, but laying around and resting is not really her strong suit.
Yeah.
And so the emotional toil has really been just as bad as the physical toil for her, really.
Right. So she's going to really need to take some time for herself and kind of let her body heal enough to where she can have some possibly some other procedures, in the future. So
we're trying to raise funds just to help her during this winter, during her convalescence. So if you guys feel so inclined, we have some different options. We will take cash because cash bans, but we also have Venmo, PayPal, GoFundMe. Literally, we will take all your money in any other ways that you want to give it to us. We also have Philip. We like to fill up at every chance we get. So at some point during the evening, either Donna Ray or I are going to be walking around with Philip. And feel free to put some cash money in him. But like I said, we have other ways. So we're going to do this a little differently than we have done other ballad swaps. We're going to have some singing. We're going to read from Mom's book. We're going to have music and then some more singing. We're going to split it up a little bit. Usually we have about 30 ballad singers sitting behind me. We're going to break that down just a little bit because people can only stand so many ballad singers at one time, really.
Mm-hmm. And two, it really wouldn't be a good celebration of Sheila if we didn't have music and storytelling,
Yeah.
So, so welcome, and we're glad you guys could be here. And hi, Facebook and
Hi,
YouTube
Facebook.
and all the lives. And we're also going to
Don't applaud, just send money.
we also are going to try to interact with the internet webs as best we can tonight too.
Well, they haven't explained to me how to do that yet, so I don't know if I'm going to be doing it, but Donna Ray's real good at it. So.
Sometimes.
So we're just going to get started. Who's the oldest in the set we've got behind us?
Oh my gosh.
You want to go first, Judy?
Not really.
Judy? Because traditionally at a ballad swap, the ballad singer who is the oldest gets to go first because they get to sing whatever they want. And when you get down to the youngest, then they have to sing whatever's left. So it is always, it's always in gratitude of the elders, and we have to celebrate them first.
Also, it's sort of unfair now because Ian is the youngest and he knows all the songs.
All right. I don't want to be right up on your lap. I was when I was thinking about tonight. I mean, it's been a hard thing to have Sheila, who's so powerful and
present, have her not be herself is just really a hard thing. And so I wanted to say that Sheila is extremely important to me. My name's Judy Rhodes. I live on land that's been in my family for 7 generations over in Buncombe County. And Sheila and I are able to talk. I'm able to talk about my family, and she knows what I'm talking about. And there aren't many people, there's nobody I can do that with. And I love that about Sheila. So I thought I should give an example of that. So I'm going to talk about my grandma. Mama Rhodes is what most people, all the grandchildren call her Mama Rhodes, except she wanted me to call her Grandma. So I guess I was special. I'm not sure how special, which way that specialness went, but I got to call her Grandma. And she sang a lot. Usually everything she sang was religious. Like she sang, tempted and tried, we're oft made to wonder why it should be thus all the day long, while there are others living around us, never molested, though in the wrong. Y'all know that? Farther along, we'll know all about it. Farther along, we'll understand why. Cheer up, my brother, live in the sunshine. We'll understand it all by and by. Very nice. That was lovely. Nice. She sang a lot of other depressing Christian songs. She did. But when we lived right next door to her, and when I was about 14, she stopped singing those songs, and she started humming this little tune all the time. Well, I asked one of my uncles a few years ago, who's still alive, what is that tune? Do you know that? Do you remember Grandma humming that? No, I don't remember her ever humming that. I asked a couple of my cousins who are a few years older than I, and they remembered so many things. I said, do you remember Grandma humming that? No. So I thought, I bet Sheila can help me figure out what that song is. So I hummed it for Sheila. Hum it again. I bet I hummed that song 5 or 6 times. She said, I think I know what it is. She said, I think it's I Never Shall Marry. Well, sure enough, she started singing it for me. I think, yeah, that's it. Grandma married my granddaddy when she was 17 years old. She had 11 kids. Last one was Down syndrome. 4 of them went in World War II. She had my Aunt Louise write a letter every week. And she'd mail the same letter to all 4 brothers during World War II. I mean, she definitely had a hard life. And I've never told this in public before because I love my granddaddy very much. But he apparently cheated on Grandma. I know.
It happens, I guess. And I didn't know that then, but Mom told me years later. And that's when she started singing this, humming this tune. So let's see if I can remember the words, because I've never sung it in public. Let's see. One morning I rambled down by the seashore. The wind it did whistle and the waters did roar. I spied a fair damsel. She was knelt in the sand. She's reading a letter she held in her hand. Oh, God. Oh, I heard this fair damsel make a pitiful sound. It sounded so lonesome in the waters around. My love's gone and left me, the one I adore. He's gone where I'll never see him anymore. She was fair as a maiden. She was fine as a queen. The handsomest lady my eyes ever seen. I asked if she'd marry me, if she'd be pleased. The answer she gave me, my love's overseas. I never shall marry, nor be no man's wife. I expect to live single all the days of my life. The shells in the ocean will be my deathbed. The fish in deep waters swims over my head. She plunged her fair body in the water so deep. She closed her pretty blue eyes forever to sleep. A woman can prove true and do all she can, but there's nothing so faithless, that's not the word, so false, the heart of a man. There you go. Thank you.
All right, Troy, I reckon it's you.
Hey, Troy, remember when we used to be young?
I remember that. Many years ago, Sheila, she would sing at the Mountain Dancing Folk Festival, and she would always bring me up there, not get in free because they'd tell me I was her son. Tune I'm going to do for you. Let's not get in tune here. It's called Rain and Snow. And I learned this from Obie Ramsey. And he sang it in F sharp, tuned the banjo. I sing it in D, so I've got to play it quite a little bit different. But I do have the banjo that he played that on back in the early 60s, late 50s. So this is my version of Rain and Snow. I married me a wife. She gave me trouble all of my life. She ran me out in the cold rain and snow. Rain and snow, rain and snow. She ran me out in the cold rain and snow. She come tripping down the stairs, combing back a long yellow hair, and her cheeks were all red like a rose. Like a rose, like a rose. Her cheeks were all red like a rose. I'm gonna sit down. There we go. That's it. Haven't stood up in a long time while playing. She come tripping down the stairs, combing back a long yellow hair, and her cheeks were all red like a rose. Like a rose, like a rose. And her cheeks were all red like a rose. I've done all I can do, try to get along with you. Well, I ain't gonna be treated this away. This away, hey, this away. I ain't gonna be treated this away. She came into that room where she met her final doom. I'm tired of living this way. This away, hey, this away. I'm tired of living this way. This away, hey, this away. I'm tired of living this away. Thank you. Thank you.
That means I'm next. This thing on.
That's the way it is.
Can you hear me there?
I hope so.
So I had a song that I was gonna sing, but I think I changed my mind because of what Troy just sang. But this is also a song. So I did learn this from Mary Jane Queen, who is a wonderful ballad singer from Jackson County, but also Sheila K. Adams helped me with it a whole lot because I learned it. It was one of the first ballads that I learned whenever I started my whole ballad singing expedition when I was 16 years old. And I just feel like it's perfect at this moment. So this is my rebuttal to your rain and snow. When I was single, to marry was my crave. Now I am married, I'm troubled to my grave. I wish I was a single girl again. Lord, Lord, don't I wish I was a single girl again. When I was single, he used to come to court. He always brought me candy and I thought he was a sport. I wish I was a single girl again. Lord, Lord, don't I wish I was a single girl again. When I was single, went dressed oh so fine. Now I am married, run ragged all the time. I wish I was a single girl again. Lord, Lord, don't I wish I was a single girl again. When I was single, I went where I pleased. Now I am married with a baby on each knee. I wish I was a single girl again. Lord, Lord, don't I wish I was a single girl again. The cows to milk in the spring to go to. A whole crowd of young'uns are crying after you. I wish I was a single girl again. Lord, Lord, don't I wish I was a single girl again. Now I am married, I set me down to weep. My husband chews tobacco and he snores in his sleep. I wish I was a single girl again. Lord, Lord, don't I wish I was a single girl again. Now I am married and what do you think? He bought a checkered apron and he showed me to the sink. I wish I was a single girl again. Lord, Lord, don't I wish I was a single girl again. When I was single, ate biscuits and pie. Now I am married, it's eat cornbread or die. I wish I was a single girl again. Lord, Lord, don't I wish I was a single girl again.
Short people got no reason. How do I fix this thing?
With luck.
I don't know if y'all know this or not, but I'm boss around here.
When Sheila's not here.
That's true.
Only when Sheila's not here.
That's true.
Oh. Branson's fired. Branson, you got to go to the house.
Thank you, William.
Still picking up everything I say.
So I do want to say that if it had not been for William and Donna Ray and myself, I did way less work than they did, but I still take total credit. But they have really put in the effort and the time, and so I just want to appreciate them as my brother and my sister in this fundraising endeavor. Thank you very much. So I'm going to I'm going to tell a story. Mom wrote this here book when I was in college. I remember her sitting around with her big old group of friends in the kitchen with little glasses full of whiskey and ashtrays full of cigarettes and nights and nights and nights of telling the stories, because really where it came from, this whole book, Come Go Home With Me, came from her sitting around telling stories to her friends. And they're like, you should write a book. And she's like, yeah, you should help me. And so they wrote it. It is dedicated to myself and my two brothers, just saying. And the one I'm going to do is the answers to life's questions, because Mom recently was in the hospital with an arrhythmia. That's why we're here. And so we're doing a fundraiser for that. So this one's about when her mentor, Granny Dale, went to the hospital. I had to face the idea that Granny was not going to live forever one beautiful summer day in August. I'd gone to Sodom early and gathered corn for Cannon with Daddy early and was back home with one pressure canner on the stove ready to come off and one ready to go on when the call came. My cousin Sarah's voice wobbled and lurched as she told me that Granny had just been taken to the hospital. They were afraid that she had had a massive stroke and weren't sure she'd make it through the trip to Asheville. But before leaving the house, she had grabbed Sarah's hand and said, "Seely," plain as day. "She's already asked for you now. I think you need to hurry," Sarah said as she cried. I had already turned off the stove by this time and told Sarah I was on my way. 1,000 images crowded into my mind. The winter day, Granny had made me 2 pairs of underdrawers out of a flour sack, and how bewildered I was when I discovered Mama had thrown one pair away. I hid the other pair and wore them only when I went to Granny's. The time me and Granny walked all the way to Marshall Watershed and got caught in a thunderstorm and had to lay down in a cleared field so as not to get struck by lightning. And all those times on the porch as she patiently sang verse after verse of the old ballads and listened as I sang them back. No, now, Seely, put your heart in it, she'd say. This here is a powerful song. You want it to sound like you're suffering. So many memories. I cried as I drove, praying for her to live, just so that I could see her one more time. It was then I realized how bound I was to this woman. I was as unprepared for her death now as I was when I was 10 years old. She had been a part of my life since it began. She was the most exciting person I had ever known and the best teacher I would ever have. As she had often said, my handprint is all over the raising of that one. Sarah met me in the lobby of the hospital and said, she's still alive. They've got her in an intensive care unit and she's asked for you twice more. Says she's got something awful important to tell you. As we rode up in the elevator, I thought, this is one of the most important hours of my life. I've got to try to remember what this feels like, what this sounds like, what this smells like. Granny is fixing to tell me the answer to all my questions about life. That's why she's asking for me. With hot tears burning my eyes and throat, I went through the door of the little room where Granny lay, and for the first time in my life, I realized that I was bigger than Granny. She had always seemed so strong and huge to me. Laying there with IV needles stuck in her thin arms, I saw that she weren't much bigger than my 8-year-old son. I walked over to the bed carrying this knowledge like a rock hung somewhere right beneath my heart. Her head was turned away from me, and I reached out, took her hand, careful of the needles, and whispered, Granny, I'm here. She turned her face towards me, and when my eyes met hers, my spirit leapt for joy. Judging by the clearness of her eyes, I knew she hadn't had a stroke. She smiled and said, they took my glasses. I can't see too good, Seely, honey. Lean in here a bit. I've got to tell you something real important. I leaned down till I could feel her warm breath on my cheek and waited, my heart pounding, thinking, here it is. Here it comes. She looked me straight in the eyes and said, don't you ever cut your hair again. And I responded after a moment of swirling thoughts, is that all? Yep, she said, that's it. Well, needless to say, Granny didn't die. She had had a kidney infection that had caused blood poisoning. In 3 weeks, she was sitting on her porch cussing her guineas. That was 4 years ago, and my hair is below my waist now. I think somehow a deal has been struck between me and Granny. As long as my hair remains uncut, she'll keep on living. And if that's the case, then I wonder how I'll manage when it's a dragon on the floor.
I just wanted to say that that's definitely a true story because I happened to be with Sheila that day. I was with Hart and Andrew, and we were in the car at the hospital when she went in, and she came out and said that was what Granny said to her.
A little word from the stage manager here. If two things. One is if you have put your phone on Zadies guest Wi-Fi, we're using that for the live feed. So if you could not be on it, if you have put yourself on there. The second thing I have forgotten. This is what it is. If with your phones that you have, you would like to share this feed that is going right now with your friends, those of you who are out there, and
Share it before you turn your Wi-Fi off.
Yeah, well, hopefully you have some kind of service.
You don't.
I do.
There's no service here.
I'm the one that has service. That never happens. Okay. Anyways, you can go on YouTube, and in the search bar, you can type Sheila K. Adams Funky Beat Fundraiser, and it'll come up first thing. Thank you very much. Carry on.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes, it is you next.
All right. Check 1, 2.
You didn't come and talk about how much you love your own microphone.
You said you didn't want me to touch it.
No. Well, it's your mic. It's your stand. It's my cord, but you can do whatever you want.
All right. That's better. I do like this microphone. I did pay a pretty penny for it. It was a nice, pretty penny that I found on the side of the road, and it hadn't been dented or scuffed or nothing. It was still brand new, and that just don't happen. You don't find a brand new penny. Anyway, I met Sheila Kay when I turned 21 years old. 21 years young, old. Yeah, that word. And it was at Merle Fest. And Arville Freeman, who taught me how to play the fiddle, may he rest in peace. He had gotten pneumonia and had told me, he said, all right, I need you to go down to Merle Fest and play for all the dances down there. And I was like, all right. And I didn't know anything about the people I was playing with. And we get down there, and this woman in this bright patchwork quilt dress with long dark hair and a straw hat with these fashionable sunglasses on comes walking up to me and says, where are you from? Who's your people? I said, well, I'm from Asheville. You know, I got my dad's family's from, Buncombe and Madison County, and my mom's side, they're from East Tennessee. And she said, I swear I could sit you down in the middle of my family reunion and everybody'd come up to you and ask who you belong to. And ever since that day, me and Sheila have been like this. We've traveled the world. We've traveled the United States. She's taught me many life lessons. And one of them was to just let you play and do all your talking for you. And so I'm gonna sing the ballad that, to me, when I first heard her sing, it really got me wanting to learn them. And normally me and Melanie fight over this one, but I really started singing it when I was in college, which I have to say that I would not have went to college if it had not been for Sheila Kay. We happened to have been performing at the same college that my college string band had happened to have been performing at, and we made some contacts, and when their fiddle player graduated, they contacted me, and she negotiated my scholarship packet. So I'm going to sing Black is the Color, and this one comes from Evelyn Ramsey, Donna Ray's aunt, also related to Melanie, of course.
More related to Donna Ray to me.
Okay, now they're fighting about who's more related.
No, we ain't fighting about it. It's just a fact, honey.
All right, anyway. Black is the color of my true love's hair. Her face is like some rosy fair, with the prettiest face and the neatest hands. I love the ground whereon she stands. I love my love, and well she knows. I love the ground whereon she goes. And if you know more on earth I see, I won't serve you as you have me. The leaves are green, no, and the winter's past and the leaves are green. Our time is past that we have seen. Still I hope the day will come when you and I shall be as one. I go to the Clyde for to mourn and weep. So dissatisfied, Lord, I never could sleep to think you lay by another man's side, while I sit here, watch this river glide. So it's fare thee well, my own true love. Our time is past, but I wish you well. I'd write for you a few short lines, and I'd suffer death 10,000 times.
Well, hey there, everybody. How are y'all? My name's Ian Kirkpatrick. I'm an alumni of Mars Hill University up here. That's how me and Sheila ran into each other, doing stuff over here. And it was actually, so I was a Bailey Mountain clogger, and I was always backstage with all these just amazing performers, people that have been mentioned tonight, people that haven't been mentioned tonight. And we were over at Western Carolina, and Sheila K. Adams was just sitting out, hanging out with her posse, whoever they were. I don't even remember who they were. But I saw her across the room. I said, I'm going to go up and introduce myself. And for the next 5 years, my name was Josh Goforth, because that's who she thought I was. One time I went up to her house, the first time I ever went up to her house, and if you can find it, you can go, but it's very difficult to find. She lives up on this hill, Eske's Ridge, we call it. And the first time I got up there, I was in this big SUV, and I was trying to keep from going off the cliff, so I was hugging the hillside, and I ran into the ditch. And there were other people coming to that party that night, and I probably, there's one of them. And I probably could have waited on them, but for whatever reason, I thought I would climb the rest of the ridge to get somebody. I had a cell phone and everything. I don't know what was going on in my head. And so I got up.
Big this ridge was. It'll be hilarious.
And so I got up to the ridge, and Sheila was there, and she was like, well, honey, do you need some help? I said, yes, please. I'm stuck in the ditch. Will you come down the hill and watch me back out? Because I don't want to back out off the cliff. And so we got down there, and June over here was just sitting, waiting on somebody to come get this car out of the ditch so she could go around and get up to the party. And we had a good night after that, but it was very interesting. So Sheila K. Adams, another thing I'll say, is the exact age as my grandmother, a point that I bring up often in front of her, and she does not like it. So if you're her son, then I am her grandson. And when I first did these ballad swaps, there was a song that we always started with. It was Pretty Sarah. And I think I'm going to stay on theme here because we've got a whole bunch of Battle of the Sexes songs going on. I don't know if that was intentional or not.
I started it.
Yeah, but so there's a version. I'm not going to do Pretty Sarah. If somebody else knows it, that feel free to afterwards. But there's a version that uses the same tune over My Way. And I'm going to try and do. I've not practiced it. I thought about doing something else, but I'm going to try and do this just to stick up for the men over here. This is a song by Aunt Molly Jackson. And she always says these songs cause you to lose confidence in the other sex. So we shouldn't be singing them. So while I'm singing, please try not to lose your confidence in your significant other. Come, all you young fellows, with hearts brave and true. Don't believe in a woman. You're lost if you do. They'll tell you they love you best of all in the world. Then they will forsake you. That's the way of all girls. I once loved a young girl. She was handsome and sweet. Her dark curly hair hung down by her feet. Her voice was like the music of the murmur of a breeze. As she whispered she loved me, as we strolled through the streets. She was the daughter of a farmer on the Clinch River side. I had always intended for to make her my bride. Then one day by the river, oh, a letter I received, and I learned she didn't love me, that I had been deceived. So farewell to Clinch River in old Tennessee. Farewell to that young girl that proved false to me. Come on, you young fellows, with hearts brave and true. Don't believe in a woman. You're lost if you do.
So I reckon it's time for our musical break now, right?
Yeah, musical break means I'm going to come around with this cash thing, and we're going to get people to put cash in it.
And all of the tips that we make tonight are going directly to Sheila to help cover medical expenses and time that she's going to have off, gigs that she's missed, all that sort of thing. So this is for Sheila. So I'll carry the tip jar around, and you tell them who's going to be on the next set so that the ballad singers are aware that they're up next. Thank you. I like that. They come to me. I like it when the men come to me.
So in the next set, it's going to be a whole new bunch of ballad singers. We're going to sing some more songs. We're going to tell some more stories. So just hang in there.
There we go.
Is that it? I think so. I don't know. Nothing. She's still walking around. Kidding me. I was just informed that it is June Trevor's birthday. Now what? Let's see. Yeah.
What's that?
Chink pin.
Okay.
Or my love, she but a lassie yet. Crooked stovepipe, too young to marry.
Jailbait.
Or I love you so much I can't use the bathroom.
Jailbait.
Yeah, jailbait.
Learn this one. One more time.
Calling the next round of squallers and squealers, of the hollering and singers, the best ballad singers around.
I sang, I'm done. I get a little break.
So we do have some very fine documents printed out, laminated on the tables there that do have some information for the links, the GoFundMe links. We also can accept donations like here in person and in cash, and we can make them magically appear also on GoFundMe so we can see that amount. Really appreciate everyone coming out tonight for some ballad singing, but also to celebrate Sheila. This isn't just a benefit for financial support or a love offering, as we might call it. It's also just we really want to think of it as a way to celebrate Sheila. She's influenced us in so many ways, and so many musicians, so many readers, so many writers, so many people. So we want to make sure for her to feel appreciated, because we're really grateful for her, and that's why we're doing that today. If you have any questions, I've kind of got my little booth set up over here, but if you have any questions about trying to find the right link maybe to share with folks, I'm happy to answer that. And I have been trying to I put the GoFundMe link on the YouTube, and I've been trying to put it on various places in Facebook, and I've been spamming everyone I know with links to this live.
Also, I created a new event on Facebook and shared it with the new live info there as well.
Okay, great.
So, if you're on the social internet webs, please share that. And I hope that Josh Kopus has shared that on the jails page and Zadies.
Yes. Also, we appreciate Josh. Thank you, Josh, for
thanks,
this.
Josh Kopus.
Thank you, Josh. Give him a big hand.
He's our favorite. Are you going to sing a little song now?
I'm holding a guitar and I'm standing here,
me.
but that was not my plan. I was just going to give some information. Yeah.
So
What?
are we ready for It's not information, it's a plan now.
Right.
So are we ready for singers? Are you really
Yeah.
gonna
Oh,
play
yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, we should get some singers up here.
Did Melanie tell you guys who was up next? No, she didn't do that. She's fired from her job. Okay, great. So there's more than 5. Is Analo still here?
Yes.
Analo, come on up here. Susan, come on up here. Susie, come on up here. William, are you going to sing this time?
I can.
Okay.
I'm just right over there.
Okay.
If you need me.
All right. See how I did that there, y'all? You're supposed to do that. You're far.
Right there, anywhere.
Hillary, do you want to do one too?
Are you here to do a music? What we're doing is the 5 singers in every set. It's going to begin with I was trying to know how wise if that was going to be my No. So you're going to read a story. Okay. Like write this section. Sing a couple songs. Actually, I looked at the it was okay. Should I do John Harris's story or the okay, that's what I'll do.
Okay, we're going to start with the next set. And we are doing it traditionally with the oldest person first. That's going to be Leela. No, I'm just kidding. You ready? So one of the newest birds in Mom's singing nest is a nest of singing birds is an antelope. He's one of the youngest eggs we have. You ready to sing?
Approach the beach.
Approach the bench.
Way out on old Limbo Mountain, where the barn the catamount ring, there a strange ghost little light is seen every night, which no hunter or planter can explain. In the days of the old covered wagon, where they camped on the flats for the night, with the moon shining dim on the old canyon rim, they watched for that brown mountain light. High on the mountain and down in the canyon below, it shines like the crown of an angel and fades as the mist comes and goes. Way over yonder, night after night until dawn, faithful old slave comes back from the grave, searching, searching, searching for his master who's long gone on. Many years ago, a southern planter came hunting in this wild world alone. It is then, though they say, that the planter lost his way and never returned to his home. His faithful old slave brought a ladder and searched day and night, but in vain. Now the old slave is gone, but his spirit lingers on, and his lantern still casts out his light. High on the mountain and down in the canyon below, it shines like the crown of an angel and fades as the mist comes and goes. Way over yonder, night after night until dawn, faithful old slave comes back from the grave, searching, searching, searching for his master who's long gone on.
By process of elimination, I think I'm the next oldest, I hate to say. But I will say that my claim to fame is that Sheila K. Adams' mother, Neeple, was my second grade teacher, and I've got lots of stories I can tell about her if you come and ask me afterwards. And for anybody else from Madison County who might be listening into this tonight, I know you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to sing a song that I learned from my babysitter when I was 2 years old, who was George Landers, who lived just up above where I grew up in Shelton Laurel. And he sang a version that is just a little bit different from the way Sheila sings it. Sheila sings it with a whole lot more verses that has the women doing gory things to the man. But this is actually one song where the woman doesn't die. So I like this one. It's known by a couple different titles. One of them is Young Hunting, and the other, as George called it, is the Scotland Man. And for any of you who have the album High Atmosphere, which is a Rounder album, which was recorded in the mid-'60s by John Cohen and my daddy, Peter Gott, this is on that album, as I recall. And he's playing the banjo in a really wonderful old-time version that is similar to what you just heard with the Rain and Snow song that was just delivered. Come in, my own true love, and stay out a night with me. I've got a bed and a very fine bed. I will give it up to thee. I will give it up to thee. Well, I won't come in, nor ain't coming in, for to stay out a night with thee. I've got a wife back in old Scotland, and tonight she weeps for me, and tonight she weeps for me. Well, it's she pulled out her little penknife, and she pierced him through the heart. She cried out in a loud, loud voice, there's a dead man in my house. There's a dead man in my house. Well, she picked him up by the middle of the waist, and she picked him up by his feet. She threw him over in a deep, wide well, just about 18 feet, just about 18 feet. She was sitting in her cabin door, thinking on what she had done. She saw a pretty little bird all among the leaves so green, green, all among the leaves so green. Come here, my pretty little bird, and parcel on my thumb. I've got a cage, and a very fine cage. I will give it up to thee. I will give it up to thee. Well, I won't come there, nor ain't coming there, for to parcel on your thumb. I'm afraid you'd rob me of my tender little heart, just like the Scotland man, just like the Scotland man. Well, it's if I had my bow and arrow, my arrow and my string, I'd shoot you right through the tender little heart, just like the Scotland man, just like the Scotland man. Well, it's if you had your bow and arrow, and your bow, I'd fly away to the heavens so high, I'd never be seen anymore. I'd never be seen anymore.
Sheila's going to do the story, but I'll do it. So why don't you, if you could do the musical one first, and then I'll do the story, and then it would be you. Okay. So after she goes.
William, I'm gonna do the guitar. Did you think I wanted your French fries? Looking over.
Honestly, I was just having this heavenly barbecue sandwich.
I know. I'm sorry.
I just was in a different place. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm sorry. Now you're not having your barbecue.
I'm still here, honestly. Really good.
Yeah, sure. Scoot over a little bit. If you want to play fiddle,
Huh?
I'm gonna sing "Rough and Rocky Road." I don't know if you want to play fiddle with me or not.
I don't have a fiddle, or I
You don't
would.
have your fiddle. Okay.
I can lie today, but thank you. I feel very honored that you invite me.
I'm gonna scoot that down a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna sing a song that is not actually a ballad, but it's ballad adjacent, and it's something I could imagine. I could imagine one of the characters, sad and lonely, in one of the ballads singing. But before I start, I just want to say I'm really honored to be here and part of this wonderful group of people supporting such a beloved member of the community. So we love you, Sheila. Darling, I am bound to leave you. Oh, it almost breaks my heart when the morning comes, darling. We'll be many miles apart. Don't that road look rough and rocky? Don't that sea look wide and deep? Don't my baby look the sweetest when he's in my arms asleep? Can't you hear the night birds calling far across the deep blue sea? When on others you are thinking, won't you sometimes think on me? Don't that road look rough and rocky? Don't that sea look wide and deep? Don't my baby look the sweetest when he's in my arms asleep? One more kiss before I leave you. One more kiss before we part. You have caused me lots of trouble, darling, you have broke my heart. Don't that road look rough and rocky? Don't that sea look wide and deep? Don't my baby look the sweetest when he's in my arms asleep? Don't my baby look the sweetest when he's in my arms asleep?
Come on over. It's fine. I'm not gonna bite you or nothing. This is a little loose. So we wanted to let you guys all know one more time that all the tips that we take tonight are going to be going directly to Sheila to help with any expenses that she has and to help give her some comfort and peace of mind so that she can rest and get well and get back to being her normal self, which is pretty wild, you know. But also don't forget to tip the staff here at Zadies because all the tips that they get here go directly to them and they share tips. So the people in the kitchen get tips as well as the staff at the bar and the people who are running the food out here. So it's just super important. So I reckon it's my turn now. And Melanie and I decided, like right before this whole thing started, that we were going to read some stories out of Sheila's book. And I felt like this one was super appropriate because this is a story about Bread Daddy. Now, those of you who know Sheila know who Bread Daddy is. So Bread Daddy was Sheila's grandfather, but Bread Daddy was my great-grandfather. So this story is called You Best Not Nod Off to Sleep. And I thought it would be good because it talks about the sheriff. And, you know, we're at the Old Marshall Jail, so the story is about the sheriff here. So this is about Bread Daddy. Bread Daddy lived to be 84 years old and was a deputy sheriff for the last 25 years of his life. I think the high sheriff, now maybe that was E.Y. Ponder, does that name ring a bell to anybody here? Appointed him so he could legally carry a gun. He carried one anyway and had never been shy about using it when need be, but at least during the county more than once. Especially the time I had to go to Chicago to bring back a notorious killer named Evanfield. Our county had its share of fights. Sometimes somebody wound up getting knifed or shot, and we had some killings, but they were usually pretty straightforward. And more likely than not, whoever did the killing would turn himself in down at the jail. We know that story, don't we, y'all? But what took place in a little community called Creek was not a run-of-the-mill occurrence. Creek, like Sodom, was an isolated, sleepy little place snuggled up against the Tennessee line. It was like Sodom also in the main focus of the community that was the church and the little general store. It was in this little general store that one of the most bizarre murders in the county had ever known took place. The store was run by an elderly couple, and before that, by one of the owner's parents. As with most of the general stores in the county, they closed around 9 o'clock each evening, which sounds crazy to me because we just now have places in Marshall that close at 9. Everything used to shut down at 4. All right, so they closed around 9 o'clock each evening and opened whenever they chose in the morning. There was no sign of forced entry on this particular Saturday morning when the sheriff got there after receiving a call that something was wrong at the store over in Creek. It was obvious that money had been taken because the cash register hung open and some coins lay scattered around on the floor. It was also obvious that the couple who owned and ran the store were very much dead. They had been placed in 2 chairs back to back and tied and had been shot 1 time each in the head. The high sheriff of our county was a very smart lawman. He had at one time turned down an offer for a position with the FBI. He recognized immediately that the couple had been murdered execution style, but he was stuck. There was no fingerprints, no clues existed at all. He figured this was a case that would probably remain unsolved, and he proved right at least for a little while. The call came in from Chicago about a year and a half later. It appeared that the police had picked up 3 men there and were questioning them about 2 murders. One of the 3 decided to turn state's witness and told a tale that even the police up there found hard to imagine. It seemed these 3 had been on a robbing and killing spree all over the United States for 3 years. Their method was to enter a store, rob the place, and leave no witnesses. And according to this man, one of those places was a little mountain store in western North Carolina. The high sheriff decided to make the drive to Chicago and bring the main man back to the county for trial. He needed someone to go with him that he could depend on. An old man even then heard about the smartness of this move. Though years later, the high sheriff told me that he never had a single doubt about Bread Daddy. The police had Evanfield in chains when the sheriff picked him up. They put him in the back seat of the car and warned the sheriff that this man is extremely dangerous. The sheriff said, "Oh, I'm not worried. I reckon he'll behave." And then he looked over at Bread Daddy and said, "Keep an eye on him, Bob. If he moves, even slightly, kill him." And with that, they headed home to North Carolina. 23 hours later, Evanfield was locked securely in the county jail, which would be this beautiful building that we're in at this moment. And Bread Daddy was sound asleep in his own bed. The local newspaper came and interviewed Evanfield. Seems he was pretty well known in the crime world. The reporter asked about his trip down, and after a bit of thought, Evanfield said, "The sheriff seems to be a reasonable man. We talked quite a bit during the trip, but it was that old gray-haired, blue-eyed man that bothered me. You know, he rode, turned around the entire trip. He never once took his eyes off me after we left Chicago. As a matter of fact, he only said one sentence to me the whole trip." "And what was that?" the reporter asked. "Well," said Evanfield, "as we were leaving the Chicago jail, he pulled out his gun, cocked the hammer, and said, 'If you move 1 inch in either direction, I'm going to kill you. So you best not nod off to sleep.' And did you doubt what he said?" "Not for," Field said. "I was awake for the whole trip." Bread Daddy.
Hello. I'm Susan Pepper, and Sheila has been the guiding voice kind of for me that's inspired me over the past couple decades of singing. And I actually was just thinking here, realizing it was about 20 years ago, almost exactly, I think right in the coming new year, that I first got to see Sheila perform at the Asheville Civic Theater. And I just kind of moved down here, didn't know a soul, and I just remember sitting out there and enjoying her music and her stories. And, I was also just thinking up here about storytelling, and sometimes some of us have not known our own stories or forgotten our own stories. And when we hear someone like Sheila, who's not, even though she's one of a kind, but a storyteller like her, who's so unabashed, can inspire us to hear our own voices and find our own threads. So that's part of the reason I'm here, and I'm sending my love to Sheila. I am going to do one that I don't think she does, which is interesting to me, but it's called The Two Sisters. She probably knows some version of it. But it's one of the classic ballads in the ballad canon. And this is a beautiful version that comes from a different singing community in Carolina. It comes from Beech Mountain. And there was a singer up there named Lee Monroe Presnell. He was a primitive Baptist preacher with a really sweet singing voice person as well. Although the song isn't that sweet. The tune is. There were two sisters that loved one man, Jenny Flower, gentle Rosemary, but the youngest of them he loved the best, and the jury hangs over the rosemary. He bought the youngest a silken hat, Jenny Flower, gentle Rosemary. The youngest when well she couldn't stand that, and the jury hangs over the rosemary. Actually, the oldest sister can't stand that the younger one has a hat. Oh, sister, sister, walk with me. Jenny Flower, gentle Rosemary, walk with me to the miller's pond, and the jury hangs over the rosemary. The eldest push the youngest in. Jenny Flower, gentle Rosemary, it was all for the sake that the water was clear, and the jury hangs over the rosemary. Oh, sister, sister, reach me your glove. Jenny, gentle Rosemary, and has sweet William for your own true love. And the jury hangs over the rosemary. Oh, sister, sister, I won't reach my glove. Jenny Flower, gentle Rosemary, and I will have sweet William for my own true love. And the jury hangs over the rosemary. Oh, sister, sister, reach me your hand. Jenny Flower, gentle Rosemary, and you may have half of the land, and the jury hangs over the rosemary. Oh, sister, sister, reach my hand. Jenny Flower, gentle Rosemary, and I will have all of the land, and the jury hangs over the rosemary. She floated down, she floated around. Jenny Flower, gentle Rosemary, she floated down to the miller's pond, and the jury hangs over the rosemary. Oh, miller, come and see. Flower, gentle Rosemary, come and see what is floating by me, and the jury hangs over the rosemary. Oh, it is not a fish, nor it is not a swan. Jenny Flower, gentle Rosemary, it is sweet William's own true love, and the jury hangs over the rosemary.
Hello, I'm going to do a murder ballad for Halloween. I missed the Halloween show. This is an American ballad. This is a real murder that happened in North Carolina in 1807. This fella killed a woman named Naomi Wise because he got her pregnant and he didn't want the responsibility. This is Omi Wise. You promised you'd meet me at Adams this spring. Some money you'd bring me and other fine things. No money have I to better this case. We'll go and get married. It'll be no disgrace. voice. Come get up behind me, and away we will ride to yonder's bright city. I'll make you my bride. She got up behind him, away they did ride to yonder deep river where the waters flows wide. Little old me, I'll tell you my mind. My mind is to drown you and leave you behind. Oh pity, and spare me my life. Let me go a beggar if I can't be your wife. No pity, no pity have I in yonder deep river, your body shall lie. I beat her, I banged her, till she scarcely could stand. I threw her in the river, down below the mill dam. Little old me was missing, nowhere could be found. Her friends and relations all gathered around. Up spoke her old mama, to the rest she did say, Jimmy Randall has killed her and is now run away. Jimmy Randall's in Ireland, in prison, bowed down. He wrote his confession and sent it around. You may kill me, you may hang me, for I am the man. I drowned in little old me below the mill dam. That's from a Kentucky singer, Addie Graham.
So that was that's our second set. So we're gonna clean the ballad slinger slate at this time, and we're gonna ask our musicians to come back and sing us or play us a little tune too. I know, but oh yeah, Phil. So in the next set, it's going to be myself and Donna Ray, Phil Jameson, Songbird, and Willem, brother Willem. So yeah, just let me get my musicians up here. Get to stepping. Oh, what was that, William? That didn't sound like any ballad I've ever heard.
Ballard?
Like a rock ballad. That was play me a song, Curtis Lowe, Curtis Lowe. So yeah, when you guys get done with that, we'll do the next song.
I'd play your fiddle, but you got too many damn strings.
Another one is the tape.
Oh yeah. Roy wasn't here, I thought, okay, I'm naked now.
Ready for you.
Oh, yes. All right, well, are we still doing the thing?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Well, since Brandon got something lodged in his throat and promptly ran off stage. All right, sing a little song that I learned from Bobby McMillan. Used to wear my apron low. Used to wear my apron low. Used to wear my apron low. My love followed me through frost and snow. And now my apron's to my chin. Now my apron's to my chin. Now my apron's to my chin. Passes my door, but he won't come in. And he goes down to Yanderstown. He goes down to Yanderstown. And he goes down to Yanderstown. Takes him a chair and he sits down. And he takes some other girl on his knee. He takes some other girl on his knee. He takes some other girl on his knee. Tells him a thing that he once told me. Wish to the Lord my baby's born. I wish to the Lord my baby was born. I wish to the Lord my baby's born. Sitting gone, his papa's me. And me per girl all dead and gone.
girl, all dead and gone. Me for a girl, all dead and gone. And the green grass growing o'er my grave.
Got feeling pretty bad for that girl, so I made a little bit different verse.
Well, he passed my door and he made to run. Passed my door and he made to run. Well, he passed my door and he made to run. But he didn't outrun my Doberman. And he goes down to Enderstown. And he goes down to Enderstown. And he goes down to Enderstown. He takes him a chair and can't sit down.
Take you home and love you, kiss you all the time, kiss you all the time, I kiss you all the have no one in town, have no one in town. It's snowing, the world is turning white. Sun lights up the daytime, say night for the night, say night for the night, say night for the night. What was it? Right on the old river.
Yeah. You right on the right there, I'll right on the
And then what happens after that?
You get there before I do, leave my wife alone.
Like my God alone. Okay.
Ready?
You ride on the old gray mare, and I'll ride on the road. You get there before I do, leave my daughter alone. Leave my daughter alone. Leave my daughter alone. Daughter. right, now third set.
I want to take a Megan.
Phil Jameson
So,
in the building.
Sheila Kay taught me how to play the banjo, and she taught me how to do the left hand clef. And when the day that she taught me, I stayed up until 3 o'clock in the morning that night practicing it, and my mother sure did love that, I'm sure. But the next day, I called Sheila Kay and I said, "Sheila, I've got it. And she said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I've got that cluck." And she said, "Why, you little shit, it took me 40 years to get that down." And when I graduated college, thanks to Sheila Kay, she gave me this banjo, which is very dear to me. It was made custom for her by Cedar Mountain Banjos, and it has an insignia of her and Granny learning the ballads knee to knee style on the headstock. So when I graduated college, she gave this to me, and it's one of my most prized possessions. I've been playing it ever since.
I sort of feel like we should say that this is like sort of a big deal, but Bobby Hicks is here right now, y'all. We appreciate you coming tonight, Bobby, to support Sheila. Thank you for being here. All right, so who has asked with the slightest hint of...
Well, I mean, Phil is slightly older than I am.
Phil, you're slightly older than Mel. That means it's your turn, buddy.
Because I'm after you.
All right.
We're just putting right up to it, Phil.
Matter which one?
No,
Can you squat?
Put it up. Normal height here. All right. So I'm going to sing one that I learned a long time ago from a great singer, Mary Jane Queen, over in Jackson County. And Mary Jane, I think she was born in 1914, and she sang lots of ballads. And this is one that I especially liked. Nobody Gets Killed in it. And it's actually based on a true story from Northern Ireland, from Donegal, and that's something that happened in the 1700s where a Catholic boy ran away with a Protestant girl, and it didn't go down so well with the family, and the father chases after him. But as with a lot of these old ballads, when they came to this country, they became Americanized. And so in this version, they run away to Cincinnati. That'll be the place to go, I guess. It's called William Riley. One morning in May, I had just looked out. The lilies, they were springing, the leaves had just put out. I met with my true love, sir. She gently kissed me. I said, "My loving madam, won't you go away with me?" Well, my parents, they're not willing that I should go away. And neither do I know you, nor neither do you know me. My name is William Riley, that stands at your right hand. Are you not the fair young lady they call the Polly Ann? Oh, rise up, William Riley, and go away with me. I mean to go with you and leave this country, forsake my father's dwelling, fine houses and rich lands, and away goes William Riley with his darling Polly Ann. Well, this lady, she was taken in Cincinnati town, and Riley, he was taken, all bound down to the ground. Just like some thief or robber, next morning he was found for nothing but the stealing of his darling Polly Ann. Well, early the next morning, the jailer's son came down, said, "Rise up, William Riley, and put your clothing on. Besides the bar of justice, on trial you will stand. I'm sure you'll suffer dearly for stealing Polly Ann." First spoke this lady's father, and this is the tale he told. "He's robbed me of my silver, he's robbed me of my gold. Besides the silver buckles, on him I have found. I'll have the life of Riley if it cost £10,000. Next spoke this young lady, fell down upon her knees. The fault is not in Riley, the blame all lies with me. For Riley did not steal them, I swear by all above. For I gave them to Riley as a token of my love. Up spoke a brave young lawyer with courage very bold. To hang a man for love, it is murder, don't you know? To hang a man for love, it is murder, can't you see? And away goes William Riley, for the judge has set him free. Well, there is a ring among them, O'Reilly you must wear, with diamonds all around it, and flattered with my hair. And when you wear it, Riley, wear it on your right hand, so you'll remember me, love, when in some foreign land. William Riley.
Okay.
Look at that.
That's right at your age. Wow, that worked out.
Not that tall. I wish I was that tall. So I've actually been singing ballads on stage since I was about 3 years old. I got to go to a lot of festivals. I had sort of a charmed life. For the first 8 years of my life, I remember going to festivals. Mom used to say, "We was gonna go, gal," and I would go and get my little. I had a little go bag that had my books and my crayons, my Barbies, and the things. And I'd put my underwear in my back pocket, and there we'd go. And we went to any festival that you could go to, and and there wasn't a lot of shootings involved. So I never really got to go to Union Grove till I got older. But I remember, I wish Rodney Sutton was here. I remember I'm actually the exact same age as the Green Grass Cloggers. They started in 1971, same year I was born. And that's when I started as well. That's exactly right. And I remember going and playing Big Bird with Cherie Shepherd and Yellow Rain Slickers. I think they were all tripping on acid, and I was just 3 years old. So the song I'm going to sing today is called "The Girl I Left Behind." I will say, though, that I've lost my voice recently, so it's not going to sound as good as it sometimes does.
I see what you
The girl I left behind. My parents raised me tenderly. They had no child but me. But I was bent on rambling with them. I could not agree. I first become a rover boy. It grieved their hearts sore. I left my aged parents, and them I saw no more. There was a rich old gentleman residing in them parts. He had an only daughter dear, and I had won her heart. She was so noble-minded, so handsome and so fair. And with Columbus's daughter dear, she sure like could compare. I told her my intention, it was to cross the main. I asked if she'd be true to me till I returned again. She threw her arms around my neck and softly she did sigh. You are the darling of my heart, my love will never die. But I had a dream the other night, one that I could well believe. That distance breaks the bonds of love, leaves girls like me to grieve. I placed a kiss upon her brow and told her never fear. I vowed to him that ruled the sky that I would be sincere. According to agreements, I went on board my ship. When I sailed out to Glasgow, it was a pleasant trip. I found that gold was plenty there, and the maids they were most kind. This made my love grow somewhat dim for the girl I'd left behind. Then I sailed to America, it was a lovely land. And there I met Molly Ferguson, who took me by the hand. She said, I've gold aplenty, and love I think we'll find. All was forgot of promises to the girl I'd left behind. So hastily did I consent, I know I am to blame. Gold, it cannot buy you love, it oft time brings but shame. Now I've gold aplenty, and my wife has proved most kind. But my pillow is oft times haunted by the girl I left behind. These last few nights in winding sheets, my parents have appeared. No pain nor grief nor parting hand, no burdens need they fear. They have departed from this world, in heaven now reside. The girl that occupies my dreams stood there by their side. Her countenance was peaceful, so lovely and so kind, with peaceful eyes still filled with love as they gazed into mine. They bore no condemnation for me nor all my lies. The love that rolled across my heart can never be defined. Indeed, now I am wealthy, such riches I maintain. Everything gold can secure now lies at my command. 'Tis bitter bile to realize, oh, too late now I find. All my gold can ne'er bring back the girl that's left me behind.
Hello.
I'm so glad I don't have to sing after Songbird, you guys. That's the best thing ever.
So folks call me Songbird, but and they say there's a reason for that. But my mama named me Sarah Elizabeth Berkey, and the song that I'm going to sing tonight is one that I know that Sheila really likes, so that's why I'm going to sing it tonight. I'll sing the version that I know. It's a bit different than, well, the tune is a bit different than the one that she sings. And I know it's a hard, stressful time for Sheila, but my prayer for her is going to be that she can feel peace. So, see if I can sing this thing without crying. As time draws near, my dearest dear, when you and I must part, a little you know of the grief and woe in my poor aching heart. Each night I suffer for your sake. You're the one I love so dear. I wish that I was gone with you. Oh, you were staying here. I wish my breast was made of glass whereon you might behold. 'Tis there your name lies wrote, my dear, in letters made of gold.
in letters made of gold, my dear. Believe me when I say you are the one that I'll adore until my dying day. The blackest crow that ever flew would surely turn to white if ever I prove false to you. Bright day would turn to night. Bright day would turn to night, my love. The elements would mourn if ever I prove false to you. The seas would rage and burn. And when you're on some distant shore, think of your absent friend. And when the wind blows high and clear, I like to be present. And when the wind blows high and clear, pray send your love to me, that I might know by your hand light how time has gone with thee. Now y'all know why I like to be older than Songbird. So I'm going to do another story, and then Donna Ray and William are going to. I think this one's hotter. How about that? Is that better? Okay. Y'all know I like a hot mic. Okay, hang on. I drop it like it's hot. John Parrish's boy. All right. So one of the great things about growing up with Mom and riding in the car with her or anywhere else is that she would tell these stories just to you in a natural, very organic way. And she got to go and be the sort of only young person in a car full of old people. And so this is just one of those situations where she's just the chauffeur. So she would drive. I mean, what other 16-year-old girl, like my kid's 17. I really can't imagine him taking my mom and all of her friends to Washington, D.C., where he was driving. And that just boggles my mind. Or what other 17-year-old do you know that would want to hang around with a bunch of singing old people? My mother was that person. So hearing the old songs was as much a part of my growing up years as waking up in the morning. Granny was one of those that was always singing. She sang while she worked. Young Emily was a fair maid. She loved the driver boy. He drove in the main for some gold to gain way down in the lowlands low. The high lonesome sound of Granny's song would drift into the air, still air, and fade away. She sang Young Emily while she milked the cow. I would stand feeling the warmth of the cow next to my side as I held on to that tail for dear life. See, it was my job to hold the cow's tail while Granny milked. Otherwise, especially during the spring and summer, that tail would come out of nowhere and slap Granny right across the face. So I was the official tail holder for many a milking. I never thought that the old love songs was that valuable.
I just knew that Granny sang of lords and ladies and spirits and sprites, and you could just tell by the tone of her voice that she used that those were all capitalized. And she always sang with more strength when she was outside. See, anything inside the house was considered work. Outside, everything was fun. We spent a lot of time together, me and Granny. She used to say my handprints all over the raising of that young'un. She cleaned up many a stubbed toe and scraped shin while I was growing up. And looking back, I appreciate the many times she scooped me up in those strong arms that knew so much about loving and holding. As I grew older, my interests shifted a bit. Now, I was a child of the 60s and listened to the radio just like other folks my age. But Granny, without even meaning to, kept me firmly planted in Sodom. Out of all the people Granny knew that had a driver's license, I was the only one she considered her step and fetch it. She would call up and order me to her house to haul the ballad singers to some backwoods community center or some basement in some little church so far off the road that you had to drive as far as you could go, then get out and walk a mile. These gatherings were called round robins. The room would usually be empty except for a huge circle of chairs in the middle of the room. The time would usually be around 7 o'clock in the evening. Granny always liked to be early for these events, so we would usually sit around waiting for 30 minutes or so before anybody else showed up. But sure as rain, folks would start to come in, and slowly the chairs would fill. A little before 7 o'clock, every single chair would be occupied by an ancient, of course, ancient to me meant over 40, male or female. And before long, the room would swell with the sounds of the old love songs as one or the other of these singers took their turn, and I attended many a round robin. During these events was a real trip in more ways than one. The crew, as Granny referred to us, usually consisted of me, Granny, and Brazilla up front, Inez, Kaz, and Virgie in the back. Inez now was of a considerable size, and since Kaz and Virgie were small, they got to ride in the back seat with her. Kaz used to say that he had ridden on Inez's hip enough to where he felt like he ought to be one of her young'uns. We loaded up and off we'd go. We had many an interesting conversation riding back and forth. Now, Virgie liked to talk, and she usually did non-stop all the way there and back. Kaz usually wanted to sing me a song, so he'd lean up on the back of the seat right next to me, right ear for a regular old love song, left ear for a dirty one, and sing non-stop all the way there and back. Granny in Brazil was normally pretty quiet, and Inez kept up a running conversation with me about anything and everything that happened to dart through her mind. One evening, we was en route to Warren Wilson College, and as we headed up the Marshall Mountain, Granny interrupted Kaz, who was singing right low into my right ear. She also managed to bring a lull in the conversation between Virgie and Inez, who were talking fast and furious across Kaz's back. Lord, that is awful about what happened to John Parrish's boy, weren't it? Granny said mournfully. For a moment, there was silence in the car. Who? Kaz asked. Inez screamed into Kaz's ear, John Parrish's boy, I believe, she said. Virgie said, I don't believe Buck Parrish had a boy. Him and Lou only had girls. Let's see, there's Joan and Margie and Susan and Rogie that I can recall. But I don't believe they had a single boy. Me and Margie was born within a month of each other, and I remember the time she cut her foot while we was wading in the creek, while they had to take her all the way to the doctor in Marshall. And we all thought that was the biggest thing, because folks didn't go off to the doctor like they do nowadays. You know, I was telling Kaz just the other day that I'm amazed how folks just run off the doctor to drop a hat. Why, we just couldn't do that all the time over every little thing that happened to us. Why, every time we got sick, why, a lump fell one time coming near busting his brains out, and never went nowhere near a doctor. I'm afraid of him myself. I ain't no telling what the doctor put you on. Why, last time I went, I saw poor old Patty there, and you know she ain't no better than she was. Brazil interrupted her at that time and says, you mean Patty's boy? What happened to him? No, not Patty and Weston's boy, Granny answers. I'm talking about John Parrish's boy. Silence in the car. Who? Kaz asks as he briefly removed himself yet again from my right ear. Inez leans over and screams into Kaz's ear, Jake Parrish's boy, I believe she said. No, said Virgie, I really don't think Jake and Ev had any boys either. Now, wait a minute. Now that I think on it, they might have had one boy. Now, Sam, I believe his name. Do you know, they named him after Big Sam Gosling. Of course, I always thought that is funny because Sam weren't his real name. Seems like it was Arthur, something like that. Now, that was who Sheila's uncle Arthur was named for a fact, or maybe they named him out of Big Bob's Arthur. Why, I bet that's the way it was. Because why would they named Arthur out of Sam Gosling? Because he weren't near as close kin to Bob nor Emily either one. Lord, I remember when Arthur was born. It was September of 1920. Inez interrupted with, Arthur? Sheila, honey, nothing's happened to Arthur, has it? Before I had a chance to answer, Granny says, no, not to my knowledge. I'm a-talking about John Parrish's boy. Who? Kaz asks again. Inez answered in an even louder scream. She said something about Sam Gosling's boy, I believe. Well, Virgie said, now, Sim and Gert did have several boys. They'd named one of them after Jigger Norton. Why, he now for a fact was Big Bob's brother. Of course, him and Sissy had a bunch of youngest before he died of typhoid. They lived right over there at the foot of Sim Mountain, right down from where Dely's house is now. There's an old log house used to sit there before you started up the mountain itself. And I remember going there as a girl. Mommy had stopped there and sat on the porch with Sis, and they'd talk. Molly used to come up there a lot, too. Lord, I always loved Molly. There was something wrong with her mouth, and she had trouble talking, but it seems to me like after she married Wade, it got a little bit easier to understand her. Now, Molly was Emily's sister, weren't she? Why, yeah, I know she was. That was the prettiest place her and Wade had down there at the Wade Cliff. They took awful good care of that place. Molly always had the prettiest flowers. I used to go out there my way to get to go walk by her house so I could see the flowers. Brazil interrupts with, John Parrish didn't have no girls, did he? And Granny sighs and says, I ain't talking about his girls. I'm talking about his boy. Who, Kaz asked. Now, Cletus did have a boy, Virgie said after a brief silence. His name is Joe, and I remember when he was born, why, is in 1928, and there's big snow on the ground. And there used to come the biggest snows back when we was growing up. Why, the weather's changed like you just can't believe over the last 10 years. So I remember my mother talking about how it snowed where you couldn't get out to the barn to feed for days. Said the snow would just swirl around your head like you just couldn't see a foot in front of you. Now, we had it rough back then. Inez interrupted with, Dely, what did happen to Sam's boy? I don't know nothing about Sam's boy. I was talking about John Parrish's boy. Who, Kaz asked with the first hint of irritation in his voice. John Parrish's boy, screams Inez. Well, we pulled up in front of the building at that point on Warren Wilson campus, and I jumped from the car to help my precious cargo disembark. Brazilla sprang out and hurried through the door, followed by Virgie and Kaz. Granny stood waiting with me as Inez struggled to free herself from the confines of the back seat of Mama's old Monte Carlo. As Inez straightened her clothes and gathered her pocketbook, and I got back in to move the car to the parking lot, I heard Inez ask Granny, well, what did happen to John Parrish's boy, Dely? And Granny very wearily answered, hell, he died. So I think next my sister Donna Ray is going to be a singing.
Can I read something out real quick?
Who, Kaz asked?
Once again, because of Sheila, I got to go to college, and I had to take a writing class. And I was 5 years out of graduating from high school, so I hadn't thought about taking a writing class in a long time. And you can imagine with this kind of accent, that can be a little interesting. Well, thank goodness I found out I write in perfect English. Well, anyway, this is a poem. This was my first writing assignment after graduating from high school 5 years later in college, and I wrote it about Sheila's house, Eske's Ridge. And it's, if you follow her on Facebook, there's many pictures that show just how magical a place it is. A home, a special place, a place of beauty and heritage. When winter comes around, cold wind follows. The Blue Ridge, now caressed by a blanket of snow, an easy wind wafts through deep valleys. Tall pines moan in discomfort from encompassing ice. Inside is where warmth resides. A well-fed wood stove blesses us with its warming glow. Winter moves on and spring moves in. The daffodils arise and stretch, awaken from their winter slumber. The intoning songbird's song floats along in the air. The blanket of snow now gone, the Blue Ridge glows in the sunlight. Emerald green to a blue sky with every color in between. A gentle rain from the heavens and the mountains. A gentle rain begins to fall from the heavens and the mountains erupt with color. Mountain laurel paints the green world with splashes of pink. After all is done, gentle spring gives way to the summer sun. Heavy and humid, the air is flavored by freshly cut grass. Carpenter bees circumnavigate and bombard the eaves of the porch. From the porch swing, sweet melodies fly. Laundry hung on the line dances along in the gentle breeze. Occasionally thunder is heard far in the distance. The night bugs cry, a sign of summer's fade. Fall at last is on its way. A gentle breeze cools the hottest day. Blue Ridge now drastically metamorphosed. No longer cool colors contrasting the hot summer's day. Now modeled a painted canvas. Orange, red, yellow, brown, and green. Quite warming on a coolish fall day. The leaves fall and the trees are bare as winter again comes near.
Well, that was beautiful. Now I'm going to tell you about the time I about burned Sheila's house down. So I had the pleasure of growing up in Sheila's household with her sons, Hart and Andrew. I'm Andrew's age, but Hart and Andrew and I were always like a trio. So Mel and I have become closer, in our later years since we started singing and stuff like that, and really being more active in all this. But when Hart and Andrew and I were young, I would spend lots and lots of time at Sheila's house. And we would snoop through Mel's stuff when she was gone. It was a good time.
I'm a little older.
Just a little. It was so cool. Well, so I grew up in Sodom. And so I used to watch my brother mow the yard. And like our yard was on this little bit of a slant. It's where my grandfather, Bard Ray, grew up. It was my grandmother, Rachel's house. And so our yard was on a little bit of a slant, and my brother would be mowing under the clothesline, and I could always see him running and acting all weird. And I'm like, what is going, and he's 9 years older than me. So I'm like, what is he doing? Well, then he told me, he was like, there's a yellow jacket's nest in the ground out there, And so one day I was just observing and watching him, and he's like, I've got to kill these yellow jackets. So I watched him pour gas down in the hole in the yard. And so I was like, okay, I was probably like 5, 6 years old, maybe 7 or 8, maybe 9. And so I had went over to spend some time with Hart and Andrew, and we would always kind of like sneak around and listen to them sing like dirty songs or bad songs. We didn't care about the ballads like the love songs. But so this one Hart, Sheila had finally started giving him chores. And so Hart's job was to mow the yard. And so here, me and Andrew were just like, watching him mow the yard or whatever. And all of a sudden he starts flailing around. And I'm like, I know this dance. I know this. There's yellow jackets. And so Hart runs inside and he's like, there's yellow jackets out there. And I'm like, I know what to do. And he's like, well, what do we do? And I'm like, we got to pour gas in there. So we go into the basement and we find the gas can. And we go over to the hole and we pour gas in there. And it's during the daytime, y'all. I wasn't paying attention to what time of day it was when my brother was doing all the stuff and things. And so we pour gas in the hole in here. They're just like swarming everywhere. It's like crazy town out there. And Hart's like, he's like, these things are not dying. And I have to mow. I'm going to be in trouble, And I'm like, well, what do we do? And I can't remember which one of us it was. But one of us said, let's light it on fire.
It was probably Hart.
I'm just saying, me and Andrew we weren't no angels either when we were younger. So it was let's light it on fire. So we took some matches and we went out there and we threw the match down in the hole. And poof, the whole bank just erupted in flames. And we were like, oh my God, and so all of a sudden we're just standing there like this. And all of a sudden Sheila comes, what in the damn hell, And so we're just to smack her, but all of the women in Sodom do that. Or from Sodom. And so she's like, I think I blacked out. I don't really remember what happened after that. And I woke up and I was standing in the hallway. And I was in this straight line, Hart and Andrew and me. And we were outside Sheila's bedroom door. And she was standing at the door and she said, now, Yens, listen here. You don't play with matches, nor gas, nor nothing. Yens could have burned my whole house down. And so she said, so I'm going to take each one of you in my room alone. And I thought, oh, God, what's she going to do to us in there? Well, Hart went first, and then it was Andrew, and then it was my turn. And she wore me slap out. So, needless to say, I never set fire to anybody else's yards, nor do I mow any yards. I don't mow yards. I don't set fire to them or nothing. So that's my little Sheila story. So I feel like I am one of her children because she whooped my hind end that one time. More than once.
What I have to say is, if it had not been during this whole hospitalization with Mom, if it had not been for Donna Ray, I would not have been able to do it. Like, it was the organizing people, because only toddlers and Sheila K. Adams get 100% supervision at all times. Mm-hmm. And so there was always somebody there with her. There was always, but if it hadn't been for Donna Ray keeping up with all of this stuff, I couldn't have done it. So to have Donna Ray as a sister has been means I do less work. I do less work. She does more work.
That's true.
That's the greatest thing.
So I'm finally Sheila's adopted daughter, and she will tell you that now, which is also my favorite thing. But when she was in the hospital, she'd say, "This is my daughter, Donna Ray." So that was pretty cool. But
I'm still in charge.
Mel's still the boss. I'm fine with that. Listen, I'm the step and fetch it. Is that what you said in that other story? Step and fetch. That's what I do. Step and fetch. So but I'll totally take that. I love Sheila, and she's always been sort of like a second mom to me. And she even said to me, she's told me recently, I begged Lena Jean to just give you to me, because my mom had some like mental health stuff going on when I was a baby, because my father passed away when I was 2, and it was this whole thing. Well, anyway, so Sheila said, well, I asked Lena Jean to give you to me. Just give me Donna Ray and let me take her. And my mama said, now you're going to stop asking me for Donna Ray. I ain't giving you Donna Ray. And Sheila said, well, why not? She's over here all the time anyway. And Mama said, well, would you give me Andrew? And Sheila said, well, no. And she said, then I'm not giving you Donna Ray. So it was like, and then I started thinking, was that like an even trade? Like my mom was like, can I have Andrew and then you can have Donna Ray? Would I have went? Probably.
I'd have given 2 Andrew.
2 Andrew for Donna Ray. Well, all right. So I'm going to sing you guys because I've had a request for this. And I swear, y'all, I know more songs than just this one. No, it's not. But it's a funny one, right? And who wants a funny song, right? Everybody wants a funny. Yeah, see, it's a funny one. But I swear, I know more than this one. But if we have time, I'll sing that for you tonight, Branson. So this is The Farmer's Cursed Wife, and only because it's just like all the women in Sodom, y'all. There was an old farmer lived over the hill, and if he ain't dead, he's living there still a-singing fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, diddle all day. Yeah, keep singing with me, y'all. Well, the devil stepped up to the man at plow, said, one of your family I'm a-taking right now, singing fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, diddle all day. Well, the farmer said, I've come undone. You come to get my only son, a singing fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, diddle all day. Well, it ain't your son or your gal I crave, but your old scolding wife, and her I'll take, a singing fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, diddle all day. Well, welcome, sweet Satan, from the bottom of my heart. I hope you and her never more shall part, a singing fi, diddle, fi, diddle, diddle all day. Well, he stuffed her down in an old tote sack, and he looked like a camel with a hump on his back, a singing fi, diddle, fi, diddle, diddle all day. Then he carried her down to the forks of the road, said, "Get down, woman, you're a hell of a load," singing fi, diddle, fi, diddle, diddle all day. Then he carried her down to the gates of hell, said, "Poke up the fire, boys, we'll roast her well," singing fi, diddle, fi, diddle, diddle all day. Along come a little demon a dragging his chain. She grabbed it up and she smattered out his brains, singing fi, diddle, fi, diddle, diddle all day. There's 6 little devils sitting on the wall. She picked up a poker and she thrashed them all, singing fi, diddle, fi, diddle, diddle all day. Now this part's the part that really reminds me of the women from Sodom, because I can hear my mom, my grandma, Sheila, all I'm saying this. Well, she grabbed old Satan by the hair of the head, said, "I'd done killed you if you weren't done dead," a singing fi, diddle, fi, diddle, diddle all day. Well, the littlest devil stepped up and said, "You better take her back, Daddy, or we'll be dead," a singing fi, diddle, fi, diddle, diddle all day. Well, the farmer saw him coming and he bit his tongue and he broke for the woods in a flat-out run, a singing fi, diddle, fi, diddle, diddle all day. And he is heard to say as he run o'er the hill, "If the devil won't have her, I'll be damned if I will," a singing fi, diddle, fi, diddle, diddle all day. And the children said, "We sure is cursed, for she's been to hell and she's come back worse," singing fi, diddle, fi, diddle, diddle all day. Well, here's your ma'am, and she sure is well, but I'll tell you what, she's tore up hell, singing fi, diddle, fi, diddle, diddle all day. Well, I've been the devil for all of my life, but I've never been to hell till I met your wife, singing fi, diddle, fi, diddle, diddle all day. Now this just goes to show that women are better than the men, for we can go to hell and come back again, a singing fi, diddle, fi, diddle, diddle all day. Was it William's turn? It's yours. I was like, oh my God, is that the youngest one again?
No.
I feel like a baby.
Sorry, it's Brother William.
I was so excited.
Brother Williams, good to see you.
Brother, it's good to be here. Good to be here.
William, it's an SOB song.
I'm a sweet William, not a Willie. Just
That's
clarify.
exactly right.
There's a big difference between a sweet William and a Willie. I'm not Big Willie style, even though I admit that was the first CD that I ever owned. It's true.
I don't even know who that is.
Will Smith. Yeah. Yeah, getting jiggy with it. You probably. Okay. Anyway, let's get off that tangent.
Are you gonna sing that?
No. I'd rather be shitting a mile from water is to sing that song. Right before my wife gave birth to our little girl Margot, Sheila and Dennis came over to our house and helped us kind of. Wouldn't necessarily say baby-proof, but they helped it like delirious, tired parent-proof our house. We had a very scary spiral staircase that Sheila cut out some little pads to make it not so scary, and Dennis helped with some other little things we hadn't quite finished yet with our house renovation, and they were real helpful. And during the time that she was there, Sheila sang this song. She said, did I ever sing for you Kaz Wallen's version of Amazing Grace? And I no, I've never heard it. And she sang it for me. And then she asked me if I had anything to record it. And I knew this was like, her saying, you need to learn this song. And then when I went to visit Sheila when she was in the hospital, she asked me, did you learn that Amazing Grace? And I told her yes. So it's a little bit hard to sing because sometimes a tune for something so well that it's like associated with the lyrics, and when you use a different tune it can be a little tough. So I'm going to give it my very best shot here, but I might fumble around. But I do think this is a beautiful way to sing this song. Hopefully I don't get really ambitious with pitching it, because it's one of those old songs that goes really high and really low at the same time. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. I want to live a Christian life. I want to die a shouting. I want to feel my Savior near, when soul and body's parting. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. I want to live a Christian year. I want to die a shouting, and I want to feel my Savior near, when soul and body's parting. Was great that grace that taught my heart to feel, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed. I want to live a Christian life. I want to die a shouting, and I want to feel my Savior near, when soul and body's parting. Thanks, Sheila.
That was amazing. That was so good. So we're going to have hopefully a little musical accompaniment. What I would like is to do a little bit of fly around, if that's possible. And then we're going to have another ballad set.
That's kind of
Do you think we should do it?
Let's just have a little bit of fun. Let's just play it by ear. If you have a song you want to sing, you have music to it.
I would like for Hannah to sing.
Yeah.
Or like,
I want to sing that.
yeah, anybody else wants to sing.
Because Joey just got here. So.
Should we ask who, if anybody just wants to sing?
I'm going to sing right
I don't. I won't. I really care. I would say anybody.
Are we gonna do flowers? Just me and you? Okay, what's verses you're doing?
And I can, between us four, we got plenty of verses. Between us four, we
I
got.
know, but I will. But I only know certain.
I'll take the "I Wish My Wife Was Dead" and the "Knife."
Is that yeah?
I want the Pretty Little Pig. And like you go around the mulberry bush, I go around the sea.
Well, I know a bunch more than that too, so I'm solid. I can fill in that rhythm. Oh, I can do. I know. You go around the mulberry bush, I go around the sea, and then let the end in if that one is.
The one that he does.
So
I'll do.
I gotta learn that verse. I know it ain't, but it's hard to remember for some reason.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Now you're doing the wife was dead.
Yeah, wife was dead.
That's
Was dead, and then also somebody's got to do. She always does the first one. The higher up the cherry tree.
That's me.
Yeah, and then I'm doing the when I was a little bitty boy, all I was a night.
Yes.
Now that I'm a great big boy.
So I'm gonna do the cherry tree and the Pretty Little Pig.
A lot of thinking.
You're
just supposed to start and then figure it out as you go along.
Okay, fine. Okay, we'll do it.
Higher up cherry tree, riper are the cherries. More you hug, kiss, boys, sooner they will marry.
Fly around my pretty little miss, fly around my daisy, fly around my pretty little miss, y'all almost drive me crazy. Oh, sorry, I was not ready to y'all were
Ladies first.
Hitch old Logan in the front, Morgan on behind. I'm going down that rocky road, gonna see that man of mine. Fly around my pretty little miss, fly around my daisy, fly around my pretty little miss. You almost drive me crazy.
I went to see my gal last night. The dress she wore was red, and every time I look at her, I wish my wife was dead.
I'll fly around my pretty little miss, fly around my daisy, fly around my pretty little miss. You almost drive me crazy.
Wish I had a pretty little pig, corn feeding mom. Wish I had a blear-eyed man, feed him when I was gone.
Fly around my pretty little miss, fly around my daisy, fly around my pretty little miss. You almost drive me crazy.
Peaches in the summertime, apples in the fall. If I can't have the one I want, I might have none at all. Fly around my pretty little miss, fly around my daisy, fly around my pretty little miss. You almost drive me crazy. Oh, when I was a little bitty boy, all I wanted was a knife. Now that I'm a great big boy, all I want is a wife. Oh, when I was a great big boy, all I wanted was a knife. Now that I'm an old man, all I needed was a knife. Oh, I messed that up. Fly around my pretty little miss, fly around my daisy, fly around my pretty little miss. You almost drive me crazy. Wish I was a June apple hanging on a tree, and every time a pretty boy passed, take a little bite of me. Fly around my pretty little miss, fly around my daisy, fly around my pretty little miss. You almost drive me crazy. You go around the mulberry bush and I'll go around the cedar. You pull up your petticoat and I'll pull out for Georgia. Fly around my pretty little miss, fly around my daisy, fly around my pretty little miss. You almost drive me crazy.
Old woodpecker sitting on a pine down the road I know. Sees your pecker, but he don't see mine. Down the road I'll go.
Fly around my pretty little miss, fly around my daisy, fly around my pretty little miss. You almost drive me crazy. So we are going to do one more set. So any ballad singers who are left who would like to do another ballad, you can come on up.
Come on up here now.
Come on up here now there. But Songbird, bring it up here. Come on. Get up here. Songbird. Susan, you want to do another song? You're good? You want to do one?
You sure?
You know, you.
Okay.
Anybody who wants to do another one, I'm not going to do another one. I'm probably going to get out of here pretty quick. But here's Antelope. He's going to come and do another. Thank you guys so much for coming. We appreciate y'all so much. Thank you. There is a little sheet on every table if anybody wants to give a donation. All proceeds, all of our tips from tonight, and a percentage of the sales are going to my mom in her convalescence. So thank you guys for being here and supporting. What word?
Convalescence. I hate that word. Please stop using it.
I'll say convalescence all I want to, Branson. We'll discuss this later.
Convalescence. She's just down and out.
I won't tell y'all what Melanie just said. That was a great time. But everybody on the internet webs could see it.
Makes it sound like she's like, helpless or something. Yeah, like she's in her nursing
Oh, I
home.
didn't. Oh.
I don't like that word.
That'd be sister. I'm not. I'm out. Nope. I don't know big words like that. Oh. Don't even sit down.
So, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Phillips. What I do want to say though that this isn't really just for Sheila missing a lot of gigs, which she has. I mean, she's missed that, and that's how she makes her main bread money. So she's missed a lot of performances, and honestly, leading up to having this health scare issue, very serious health issue. She had some other health issues just this year that had gotten in the way of some gigs too. But I do also know that she will be having to have some surgery, I believe. So this is not just for. She's got kind of a long road ahead of her, but she's an awful tough woman. So
Yeah.
I believe in her.
So she just needs some time to rest and not have to worry, because that's all we know how to do is just worry about the next thing. Because Sheila and I are very similar in the fact that we have to keep going all the time, So it's good that if she can just feel that relaxation, like she doesn't have to worry about things, and that's the main thing, so that she can relax, rest, let her body heal to the point that it needs to be healed to, so she can have the procedure that she needs to have done. So that's the main goal.
Well, I looked way over Jordan. What do you think I seen? Well, I seen a band of angels coming after me. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Going down to the river of Jordan, put my knees down in the sand. Gonna holler high Hosanna till I reach that promised land. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Well, ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Well, go down yonder, Gabriel, put your feet on land and sea. Well, Gabriel, don't you blow your trumpet till you hear from me. Well, ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Well, ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Well, meet me, Jesus, meet me in the middle of the air. If my wings should fail me, Lord, give me a brand new pair. Well, when I hear that trumpet sound, gonna get up out of the ground. Well, ain't no grave gonna hold my body down.
I'm going to do one that I learned from Sheila. And I remember her saying that that when her family member sang it, she would sing it when she was all worked up over something. And it would give her calm and it would give her peace. So, just to sing that song. I don't think I'll ever forget that story that she told. We'll camp a little while in the wilderness, in the wilderness, in the wilderness. We'll camp a little while in the wilderness, and then I'm going home, and then I'm going home, and then I'm going home. We're all making ready, oh, ready. And then I'm going home. Ready, oh, ready. Sisters, are you ready? And then I'm going home. And then I'm going home. And then I'm going home. We're all making ready, oh, ready. And then I'm going home. Oh, brothers, are you ready? Ready, oh, ready. Brothers, are you ready? And then I'm going home. And then I'm going home. And then I'm going home. We're all making ready, oh, ready. And then I'm going home. Oh, mothers, are you ready? Ready, oh, ready. Mothers, are you ready? And then I'm going home. And then I'm going home. And then I'm going home. We're all making ready, oh, ready. And then I'm going home. Oh, fathers, are you ready? Ready, oh, ready. Fathers, are you ready? And then I'm going home. And then I'm going home. And then I'm going home. We're all making ready, oh, ready. And then I'm going home.
Well, I mean, I got. You're gonna be the. Is it long or short? Short. Okay. Well, you never know. Hey, last time, you know, the moon completely set during one of his ballads one time. Great. Yeah. We do.
Yeah, I hope y'all love me.
That's why we gotta give him a hard time if I'm too nice to him. He thinks
What
I'm
is
mad.
happening with this microphone here? Pull that back. I feel like I'm staring right into it. All righty, let's see here. Oh, Johnny, you are my darling. You're like a red rose that blooms in the garden. I'd rather have Johnny without one thing as to love any other, worth 1,000 sterling. It ain't the wind that blows so high, nor neither the rain that makes me cry. The whitest frost that ever fell, I'll follow you, Johnny, where you go or stay. My father offers a house and land. If I'll stay home, do his command I will disobey. I'll follow you, Johnny, where you go or stay. My mother scorns both night and day. My Father says He'll send him away. They may scorn and scorn at leisure at the sight of Johnny. I'll take my pleasure. For roses are red and violets blue. Sugar's sweet, and so are you. As sure as grapes grow on the vine, I'll be yours if you'll be mine. So fare you well, Father, fare you well, Mother, fare you well, sister, fare you well, brother, fare you well, friends, and fear no danger. I've forsaken you all for to go with the stranger.
I'd like to make an announcement on what is that? GoFundMe. On GoFundMe, we have raised for Sheila K. Adams $4,200 out of the $10,000 goal tonight. Almost halfway there.
I love you.
Love you.
You be careful. You want to go next?
Yeah. Could you help me with the mic? I'm going to
Yes.
sit down to play.
Hold that. Don't drop it.
I didn't know this one was working.
Just I'm gonna get this and set for you to sing.
I'm actually going to do an instrumental, so you can put it closer to the mic.
Okay. Well, here to take it.
Okay.
We'll get you all mic'd up.
I'm going to sing in pick. All right, I'm going to do a little mandolin instrumental medley.
Don't you even cry. Some sweet days coming, we'll marry you and I. Oh, my little darling, don't you even moan. Some sweet days coming, I'll take my baby Up and down the railroad across the county line. Pretty little girls are funny, but wife is always crying. My little darling, don't you even cry. Some sweet days coming, we'll marry you and Henry drives wagon, Henry holds the line. Kill yourself laughing to see that poor boy flying. Oh, my little darling, don't you even cry. Some sweet days coming, we'll marry you and
Mighty fine, mighty fine.
Sheila K.
About every time requests that I do this song, and sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. That's all right. You got dad brain.
Oh man, I barely had a brain to begin with. It's not even fair.
Not only that, like new dad brain. Yeah, G. I had a hen, she didn't lay any eggs. I had a hen, she didn't lay any eggs. Till the rooster came in the yard, caught my hen out behind the barn. Now she's laying eggs now, she's laying eggs now. Ever since the rooster about forgot it came in the yard, She's laying eggs now like she never used to, ever since the rooster came in the yard. I had a cow, she didn't give any milk. Had a cow, she didn't give any milk. Till the rooster came in the yard, caught my cow right off of her guard. She's giving eggnog, she's giving eggnog, ever since the rooster came in the yard. She's giving eggnog like she never used to, ever since the rooster came in the yard. This thing ain't being nice. I done forgot. I had a dog. She didn't have any pups. Had a dog. She didn't have any pups. Till the rooster came in the yard, got my dog right off of her guard. She's having bird dogs. She's having bird dogs ever since the rooster came in the yard. She's having bird dogs like she never used to, ever since the rooster came in the yard. So me and William and Sheila were doing this thing in Tennessee one time, and we were just hanging around, and we decided we needed to write another verse for it. I had a pond, it didn't give any fish. I had a pond, it didn't give any fish. Until the rooster, he went in for a swim. Oh my, you'll never guess what happened next. It's giving shell gas, it's giving shell gas. Selfish rooster came in the yard. It's giving shellfish, it's giving shellfish. Ever since the rooster came in the yard. I will, but you know how pollution is. You know, you think you're getting shellfish, but really you're getting shell gas. I had a pond, it didn't give any fish. I had a pond, it didn't give any fish. Till the rooster, he came in for a dip. And I guess you'll know, you'll never guess what happened next. It's giving shellfish, it's giving shellfish. Ever since the rooster came in the yard. It's giving shellfish, ever since the rooster came in the yard. Now here's where it gets into really some foul play. Bad joke or dad joke? You would know. Dad joke. I had an aunt. She didn't have any kids. I had an aunt. She didn't have any kids. Until the rooster came in the yard. Got my aunt right off of her guard. We're having fried chicken. We're having fried chicken. Ever since the rooster came in the yard. We're having fried chicken, and boy, it's yummy. Ever since the rooster came in the yard. We got any more singers? All right. While she's getting up here, I'm going to sing you a real short one. Because Sheila sings it every night. Every time we have a ballad swap, so somebody's got to do it. There was an old farmer who lived by the sea, and a merry old farmer was he. He had a fair maiden who laid on the grass, and every time she turned over, she'd show her fair ruffles and tuffles as slick as a duck. She taught that old farmer a new way to bring up the children and teach them to knit, while the servants in the barnyard were shuffling out. Contents of the barnyard as slick as glass. If you don't like my story, you can go kiss my daughter in the parlor who winds up the clock with a piece of red ribbon tied all around her. Poodle dog her, poodle dog her, poodle dog galore. If you don't like my story, I'll tell it no more.
You got an A?
Do you know Little Billy Wilson as well? Oh, we'll just do John Brown.
Okay. I mean, I'm probably get them equally the same.
Okay. Hold on, I got a little banjo tuning. It's hard, isn't it?
All right, this is one of my favorite tunes that Sheila plays. It's called John Brown's March. And also a big thank you to everyone out there for all the support and contributions and listening and all that good stuff.
Folk music, don't tune too much.
Don't tune too much?
Yes, folk music.
All right, can we do one more?
Yes.
Little Billy Wilson?
Huh?
Do you know Little Billy Wilson?
I don't, but I'll
Okay.
try to see if I can figure that out.
Let me try again.
Thank you.
I'm trying. I'm like missing.
William, you want to do 4 nights drunk?
Oh, sure.
Do you want to do that? Your face didn't look like you didn't really want to do that.
What can you do 4 nights in?
We're only doing 4 nights. Josh said do more than 4, but I don't know.
Well,
Oh yeah.
It'll be a more of an adult situation here soon.
I've never done more than 4.
There's a first time for everything.
Well, I don't know. You have to whisper.
So that means, so wait. So that means you've never done him before.
5, 6.
Which
I've done.
have you done?
I've never done 5, 6, or 7.
Why don't you just keep doing it until you run out, and then I'll just pick up.
Great. That sounds perfect. We're doing this for you, Josh.
I know the last verse, but I don't know.
You do the last verse then.
I will totally do the last verse.
See.
Let me warn Pat. Hold on.
So just, I'll participate in singing this song because songs like this are critically endangered and an important part of Appalachian culture that, alas, is deeply threatened. Of course, maybe once you hear this, you'll never forget it, so I guess that's good.
Oh wait, I feel like I know. I might be able to pick it up once
Okay.
you start asking me what I'm doing.
Oh, are you gonna sing the girl part and I'll do the?
What do you mean?
Oh.
Wait, I thought. What?
Now
What
you're
did you?
gonna sing Brian.
Of course I knew. I know that. How did he not know that?
No, I thought you were. I didn't know.
What?
Because we
Sarah's fine with us being married for tonight.
Well, this goes out to Bobby McMillan
Yes, it does. And Sheila.
and Sheila, of course. Yeah.
Oh boy, it's the whole band. The band's here. The whole band. I'm nervous.
Well, the other night as I come home,
There's Bobby.
I was drunk, I couldn't see. And I saw a horse hitched up to the fence where my horse ought to be. And I said, little wifey, explain this thing to me. Why is there the horse hitched up in the fence where my horse ought to be? She says,
Fooey fool, you drunk-eyed fool. Oh, as you blinder pinch you see.
Yeah.
That's only a milk cow my granny sent to me.
Well, I've traveled around this whole wide world. It's 100 miles or more. And a saddle on a milk cow I ain't never seen before.
I've never done this with music before.
Well, the other night as I come home, I was drunk, couldn't see. And I saw a head up on the peg where mine ought to be. And I said, my little wifey, explain this thing to me. Why's there a head up
up on the peg where my head ought to be. She said,
You fool, you drunk old fool. White Branson messed me up.
Can I see?
Oh, wait.
That's how
A JB Stetson dish. What? I know it's a. What?
She
Don't do
said,
that.
you
you drunk eyed fool. Oh,
hit your blind, can't you see?
oh, here we go.
Why, that's just a little chamber pot my mama gave to me.
I can't sing that high. That's
I
weird.
travel around this whole wide world 100 times or more. And Stetson chamber pot I ain't never seen before. Well, the other night as I come home, I was so drunk I couldn't see.
Oh.
And I saw some boots at the foot of the bed where my boots are to be.
No, I don't know the boots. I know the britches.
You fool, drunk-eyed fool. It's your blinder, can't you see? Why, that's just some flower pots my mama gave to me. Well, I've traveled around this whole wide world. It's 100 times or more. And a flower pots with boot laces on it I ain't never seen before.
I know the britches.
What?
I know about the britches.
Okay. Well, the other night as I come home, I was too drunk I couldn't sing. And I saw some britches laying on the floor where mine are to be. And I said, little wifey, explain this thing to me. Why there's britches laying on the floor where mine are to be.
Well, you blind fool, you drunk old fool. Can't you plainly see?
Yeah.
That's only a flour sack my granny give to me.
Well, I travel around this whole wide world 100 times or more. And a flour sack with suspenders on it I ain't never seen before. Well, I travel around this whole wide world 100 times or more. And the flour sack with galluses on it I ain't never seen before. Well, the other night as I come home, I was drunk, couldn't see. And I saw a head laying on the pillar where my head ought to be. And I said, little wifey, explain this thing to me. Why, there's a head laying on the pillar where my head ought to be. She says,
You fool, you drunk-eyed fool. Is your blind, can't you see? That's only a cabbage head your granny sent to me.
well, I traveled around this whole wide world. It's 100 times as more. And a cabbage head with whiskers on it ain't never seen before. Well, the other night as I come home, I was so drunk I couldn't see. And I saw some hands on my wife's titties where mine are to be. I said, what? It's explain this thing to me. Why these hands on your titties where mine ought to be?
You fool, drunk-eyed fool. Is you blind or can't you see? That's only a brassiere your granny sent to me.
Well, I've been all around this whole wide world. It's hundreds of times and more.
And a brassiere with a wedding ring on it, ain't never seen before.
Told y'all I was promiscuous the other day. Only a couple weeks ago.
Are we gonna do it? Are we gonna do it?
We're gonna do her. I got the last verses in the bag.
Well, the other night as I come home, I was drunk, couldn't see. And I saw a pecker in my wife's mouth where mine ought to be. And I says, wifey, explain this thing to me. Why is there a pecker in your mouth where mine are to be? She said,
You gotta take one for the team and actually use your tongue like William does.
Thank you guys so much. You want to say something there now?
I think we should all end in a good version of I'll Fly Away.
Oh boy. All right, let's sing some church music because we're all going to hell after that.
Key of A.
Somebody better look up the words.
I feel like I need to redeem myself by saying that I never sing with musical accompaniment, and I've only started recently doing that. No, that was not good.
Hey.
It was fine. I tried real hard. I guess.
I know.
So Mel and I have had many discussions of how that verse would be sang because William does. I'm like, nah, that's not what it would sound like. Mel's like, no, by God, it would sound like.
All right, now, don't be taken to doing that to my microphone now.
I wasn't touching your microphone.
All right, now.
I know how to work my hands now, friends. I've been around for 41 years.
This is ballad singing after dark.
It's the body ballads. Bring it on in there, brother William. Oh my God, there's children here. I need to go to the house.
Well, some that morning when this life is over, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. Like the moon on weary days and then I'll fly away to a home where joy shall never end. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning. I die, hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. Those of this life have grown. Oh. See, it wasn't me that time. It was not me. She's a pickin'. Shadows of this life have grown. I'll fly away. Like a bird from prison bars has flown. I'll fly away. I'll fly coming back. I'll fly away.
The cold is making this thing go bonkers. We're done.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you coming out. Thank you for helping us support Sheila and loving her like we do. She's the best. Thank you.
Oh, yes.